Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We are from group PB3 or group 38 and we are going to present to you our group project hydraulic braking system. Okay, let me start by giving you some background information. A brake is start working when the driver press the brake pedal and cause a force to be generated at the driver control mechanism. Then this force will be transferred to the brakes piston pad at the braking mechanism. Hydraulic braking system is a setup of braking mechanism that using a fluid to transmit force that given by the driver from the controlling mechanism to the braking mechanism. This application of braking system is based on Pascal principle. In this principle, it states that when a change in pressure is applied to an enclosed fluid, it is transferred in its entirety to all parts of the fluid. In a closed system, the pressure that applied to the brake liquid is transmitted equally to all other parts of the system. Because of the brake fluid of atom are allowed to move around the part of the system, the brake fluid atom are allowed to transmit pressure to all section of the fluid. Any change in the pressure is remain and maintain transmit. So by exercising the pedal, brake fluid transfer this pressure to the brake pad. According to Pascal principle, the pressure change are the same everywhere in the fluid. So all the brake will force this to stop in the same rate of time.
Hi, my name is Tan Bing Long. In this video, I present about the construction process of our project which entitled Hydraulic Braking System Technology. First of all, let's look at the types of hydraulic braking system. Hydraulic braking system can be classified based on two bases, which are based on frictional contact mechanism and based on the brake force distribution. For the frictional contact mechanism, it also can be divided into two types of hydraulic brake, which are drum brake and disc brake. Drum brake here, we can call it as internal expanding hydraulic brake, while the disc brake here, we can also call it as the external contracting hydraulic brake. This is because from this figure, we can know that the drum brake system is inside the well, and the disc brake here is outside the well. So the drum here is called internal expanding, and the disc here is called external contracting hydraulic brake. For the brake force distribution, it can be single acting hydraulic brake and dual acting hydraulic brake. For the single acting and dual acting here, we also can be divided as drum and disc. Drum, disc. The drum and disc for the single acting force distribution has the similar mechanism of working, while the dual acting here is also same. And also the dual acting hydraulic brake here, we also can call it as double acting. So let's look at the hydraulic brake based on the force distribution. For the single acting hydraulic brake types, a single cylinder type of master cylinder is used, which provide little hydraulic pressure, only a little, that can only be transferred in a single direction. For the double acting hydraulic brake types here, a double or tandem master cylinder is used, which can provide a higher braking force that can be transferred in double direction. So single here is little hydraulic pressure, transfer single direction. Double here, high braking force, transfer in double direction. So it can be also assume like this is 4 wheels of a car. The single acting hydraulic brake is have only the front wheel have the braking system, while the double acting it is consists of 4 system for the braking. So next we look at the drum hydraulic brakes. The drum hydraulic brakes and the disc hydraulic brake is similar for some parts, which are brake pedal, master cylinder, brake fluid reservoir, and brake lines. This 4 is same between the drum hydraulic brakes and also the disc hydraulic brakes. For the brake pedal is the place here which require the driver apply force to brake. Next, the master cylinder is at here. It is a simple cylinder and piston arrangement is like a piston here that convert the mechanical force from the brake that applied by the driver into the hydraulic pressure. So the force will transfer to pressure because of it have the area here. The next part is the brake fluid reservoir, which is a tank that contains the brake fluids and connect to the master cylinder. For the brake lines is the tube of hollow high pressure method that connect the master cylinder with the drum cylinder inside these brake lines. I show it. It is at the here is the master cylinder. The brake line is like this. Connect to this brake here, or connect to the drum brake here. So it is the brake lines that transfer the hydraulic fluid, brake fluid also. So the high pressure brake fluid from the master cylinder flow for the further brake actuation. The next part is the drum cylinder, which is different from the disc hydraulic brake, which is another cylinder that fit inside the drum of drum brakes and connect with the brake shoes. Like here, the drum cylinder is the blue color here. It is the parts inside the brake drum here, which is brake drum is the housing for the components of braking system. The outer part of the drum will rotate with the wheels, but the inner part remains stationary. So we call it as here internal expanding hydraulic brakes. So here is the mechanism. It is same as I present just now. So we move on to the disc hydraulic brake system, which is for first here is the same. But the brake line here is connect the master cylinder to the disc capillary cylinder. This capillary here, capilla, is the small stationary parts that fit over a disc. So the disc caliper is a small stationary parts that fits over a disc clamp. Clamp the disc in the braking system. And the disc caliper is the housing for brake shoes and hydraulic cylinder inside. So when brakes are applied, the brake shoes inside the disc caliper contract and make friction to the wheels with the rotating disc to brake. So the process is occur outside of the system. So we call it as the external contracting hydraulic brakes. Okay, the disc rotor here is a disc, which is a metallic disc that fit with a well hub in such a pattern rotates with the well of the vehicle. It will rotates with the vehicle, and the disc rotor is the surface that makes frictional contract with the brake shoes to decelerate the vehicle. It means the disc rotor and the disc capillary system, inside there, including the brake shoes and other components and cylinder or what. So the disc rotor and the disc capillary, they contact, they will produce the frictional force of contraction, and it will decelerate the vehicle. And this is the main purpose of the braking system. So it is the same I say just now. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kansel Safika Vintino, and I would like to describe about issues related to hydraulic brake system technology. Point number 1 is overheating. When temperature increases because of heat, the fluid will expand beyond its normal volume at that point. This expansion increases the amount of pressure on the calipers, which can cause the calipers to remain clenched around the rotor even after the brake pedal was released. This will cause a delay when the car starts to move after brake. Point number 2 is brake hoses restriction. Hoses that have developed restrictions are a common problem, which is a severe enough restriction prevents fluid from returning quickly from caliper to the reservoir as it should. When the fluid not returning as quickly from the caliper, the brakes will not be as quick to release as they should be. This will cause a brake to drag. Excessive fluid in master cylinder. For the system to function properly, the master cylinder must have adequate amount of empty space. If the master cylinder has too much brake fluid in it, the empty space will decrease and there may not be enough space for the brakes to release. Point number 4 is air and water contamination. Air and water contamination has 2 points, which is cavitation and aeration. Cavitation is when hydraulic oil contains about 9% dissolved air, which the pump can pull out and implode. Point number 2 is aeration. Aeration occurs when air from outside enters the pump cavity. This problem is usually caused by loose connections or leaks in the system. When the pump is running, aeration produces a sound that sounds like knocking. Point number 5 is temperature issues. Temperature issues have 3 points, which is fluid thinning, fluid oxidization, fluid thickening. Fluid thinning is when heat can cause hydraulic fluids to become thin and prevent lubrication and increase possibility to leakage. Fluid oxidization, when exposed to high temperature, the hydraulic fluid can oxidize and thicken. This fluid thickening can cause build-up in the system, restrict stream flow, and reduce the system's ability to dissipate heat. Fluid thickening occurs when the viscosity of hydraulic oil increases due to the low temperatures, making it more difficult for the oil to reach the pump. Putting the system under load before the oil reaches 70 degrees or higher can cause a cavitation damage. Last point is human mistakes. Human mistake is from faulty installation, which is improper installation of any component in hydraulic system, can lead to failure. For example, the pump shaft could be rotating in the wrong direction, result from improper installation. And reducing pressure build-up or pipes could be improperly installed, that result in leaks. Incompatible components. An experienced installer may combine incompatible components, resulting in functional failures. For example, for pump may have a motor that exceeds its maximum drive speed. Point number 3 is inadequate maintenance or use. Some of the most common causes of hydraulic system damage are using systems beyond their operational capabilities or failing to perform regular maintenance, both of which are easily remedied through updated maintenance policies and training.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Surai binti Kasim. In this part, I will present and talk about the technology that being used related to hydraulic field, which is hydraulic braking system technology. First of all, what is hydraulic braking system? Okay, hydraulic braking system transmit brake pedal force to the wheel brake through pressure fluid. Converting the fluid pressure into useful work of braking at the wheels. What more about hydraulic braking system is about the specification. Okay, for the specifications, they are torque rating, power, speed, and maximum pressure. Hydraulic braking system also have many different types, which is the simplest one types of brake is called band. They have a metal band line with heat and wear resistant friction materials. Second is drum. Drum brake presses against a spinning surface. They are often used on automobile rear wheels. The third one is disc brakes, which have brake pads, a caliper and rotor. And the last one is cone brakes, which consists of a cup and cone that is lined with a heat and wear-resistant friction materials. Okay, next I will explain about how the hydraulic braking system actually works. First step is push your foot on the brake pedal and the force will generate by your leg is amplified several times by mechanical leverage. It is then amplified further by the action of the brake booster. After that, the piston will move into the cylinder and it squeezes hydraulic fluid out of the end. And then what is happened is the hydraulic brake fluid is forced around the entire braking system within a network of brake lines and hoses. After that, the pressure being transmitted equally to all 4 brakes. And lastly, the force creates frictions between the brake pads and this brake rotor, which is what stops your vehicles. So this is how the hydraulic braking system actually works. That's all from me. Thank you.
The first recommendation for brake fluid is the characteristic of the brake fluid that used. The brake fluid that used must be high temperature resistant, so it could exposed to high temperature that be produced by the disc and the brake pad contact. So the fluid must have a high boiling point to ensure the fluid do not vaporize. It is because a gas is very compressible compared to liquid. Then the other brake fluid characteristic is it must maintain a consistent viscosity under a wide range of temperature. It is because viscosity is the resistance of a fluid to flow, and the fluid of the viscosity is highly affected by the heat, as the viscosity of the fluid will decrease when the temperature increase. This is because the kinetic and thermal energy of the molecule increases as the temperatures rise. This will result making them more mobile, because the attractive binding energy among the molecule is reduced and the viscosity is reduced also. Other than that, for the last recommendation is the addition of the corrosion inhibitor in the brake fluid. This additive helps to protect the brake system metal from corrosion, and the antioxidant is required to reduce the oxidation process. So the brake line will have a long-term and excellent performance of life. That's all from us. Thank you.